Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we're here today in Cleveland's West Shoreway, and we're here with architect Robert Maschke. Thanks so much for taking time, Robert, to talk with us.
You're welcome.
We are here actually in your backyard of these two iconic buildings that you have built here on the Shoreway. You've done a fabulous job. Congratulations on your architecture practice. You just won the Cleveland Arts Prize. You've won some prizes from the Architecture Association. What more are you going to be doing here? I mean, you've done a fabulous job.
Well, we're just getting started, and I appreciate all the accolades. It's really nice to be rewarded for our work. Thank you.
Well, it's nice that you are able to share this with Cleveland, and you're sharing your homes, actually, with the ICA, the Intermuseum Conservation Association. You're on the board there. They do work that people probably aren't aware of, and you're going to allow them to come here and tour your home. Isn't that right?
Well, we thought it would be a nice way to raise some money and bring awareness to the ICA. So we have a fundraiser on September 18th. It's a Sunday afternoon, and you have an opportunity to visit both the C House, which is my home, and the Mintz residence, which is Chuck and Patricia Mintz's house. And you'll be able to walk through, view some of the art, tour the architecture, and then there'll be a reception on the roof deck of the C House, concluding with drink and heavy hors d'oeuvres, and it's all for a great cause, the ICA.
It really is. They do conservation work, preservation work for museums really internationally, and it's sort of a hidden gem here in Cleveland. Your firm, Robert Maschke Architects, does work also internationally, isn't that right? You're in China a lot?
We do. We work globally, and the last 5 years we've really grown some more local roots, doing a lot of work for the local universities, colleges, and private clients.
Right. And you have that gallery, 1.618.
I do.
Gallery right in your same space. It's Gordon Square Arts District now. Cleveland Public Theater's right there. XYZ Tavern, Gypsy Beans and Baking. But you guys were there, well, CPT, of course, has been there forever, but you got in kind of early in that space. What was your thinking about this whole area?
Well, we were the first private folks in there and needed more space.
Right.
And I thought it was a great neighborhood, and strategically looked to go next to Cleveland Public Theater because I wanted to build on some synergy with them, and they've been a great neighbor as well. And Gordon Square has been fabulous, so it's really an exciting time to be on the near west side of Cleveland.
And you're a Brush High School grad and Kent State University architecture, right? So you're sort of a hometown boy that's really made good, but you're coming back now, and you're doing a lot of work locally here.
Well, I'm trying to stay local. Hopefully we can get some more work locally.
Sure.
It's a little tougher these days.
I hear you.
But we're committed to Cleveland, and we're committed to the neighborhood, and I think I think there's a lot to offer, and we hope to continue to provide. So
I love your gallery, 1.618. Of course, that's the golden mean, right? That people, I mean, explain to people, because it's not your address or anything, but
No.
it has special meaning to artists, especially.
Yeah, it's the Greek number phi, which is the golden section or proportion of life, human life. And it made a lot of sense to have a gallery and an architectural studio located together, and so 1.618 has a lot of meaning in those regards.
Right. And what I love is what it comes down to is that's just a very pleasing ratio. It's sort of width to height, and the television is probably television dimensions. It's
architecture.
And architecture, buildings, right?
That's right.
And I love the quote you have for your practice, because you say you do timeless. Your work is timeless in atmosphere, highly articulated in finish, and meticulous in detail.
That's right. We try to put every effort of thought and execution into our work, and try to do it in an affordable and meaningful way to the client.
Right.
And we take great pride in what we do.
You and I were talking earlier about the use of technology in a form that is really about the tangible object, but you have found ways to use technology, and you were telling me that it's getting better and better to the point where you can really anticipate 100% what something's going to look like right on the screen, which you really couldn't do in the early days of computer modeling.
No, over the last 5 years, we've really been able to utilize software and technology to actually walk through our structures. And we can actually convey to our clients and to ourselves what things will look like, how systems will interact, what the sculptural element of the space is, even detailing of specific items, and it's been very helpful. We have very little or no change in what we design on the computer to what actually gets built.
So you have a real good feel then for what this thing is not only going to look like from the outside, which is kind of an easy thing to do, but what it's going to feel like when you get inside and start moving through the spaces.
Yeah, that's very important to us. In a lot of ways, we're creating space. It's a sculptural element of what we do, and that's very important to us to have the feeling of space and scale within the building and not just be an object at the street.
Right. What's the number one biggest issue that you work on with your architecture clients? Is it about getting them to understand what it is that you do, or is it the budget? Or
budget.
I was going to say
budget.
I figured that was
budget.
Probably
no one actually really understands what things really cost.
Right.
And everybody always wants to have specific needs. So you just have to pick your battles and support what you want that is most important.
Right.
And give up the little things to make the projects work. Unfortunately, no one has unlimited funds.
That's right. You've got to prioritize, basically,
Yes.
just like you do in life.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the ICA, because you are on the board there, the oldest nonprofit art conservation institution really in the United States.
It is.
And people do not know about these guys. They're right here on the near west side as well.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have a benefit within the city and using the homes as a venue to attract people on the ICA.
Right.
It's a wonderful organization that was started 50 years ago by some local museums, Cleveland Museum of Art, Akron, the Allen Art Institute in Oberlin, Toledo.
Right.
And they got together to help save on conservation, and this really took a life of its own. It's grown. Not only does the ICA work with institutions, they work with private collectors. They work with the Hayes Presidential Museum.
Right.
They not only work on artwork, but they also work on cultural items.
Exactly.
So they really are a great resource for almost anybody to utilize. And these people are the best at what they do in the United States.
I think they're doing an old carousel now from Coney Island.
Coney Island Carousel.
Yeah,
it's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's huge. It's taking up half the studio right now.
It's wood panels with paint, and they're doing works on walls. They're doing some frescoes that they're actually taking the wall off.
They're doing some work for the Housing Authority.
Murals.
And some murals.
Right.
And it's constantly evolving. Anytime you walk through the ICA, there could be a host of different things, from antiquities to contemporary art to architectural items that they've worked on. And it's a really exciting place.
They're doing things like conservation, which is how to make sure that things don't deteriorate, but then also preservation, how to display them, mat them, frame them, put them in display cases and stuff. And then they do educational programs, right, and outreach.
They do. The education's important, and they also work and help artists on what materials are sustainable and go together,
right,
and what materials will deteriorate and to avoid.
Right. Well, listen, you have brought so much here. Thank you for taking time. Thanks for this great event on the 18th of September. There's going to be an art walk, if you will, walk through the houses, look at the artwork here. These are fabulous homes. I think, how many thousands of people do you know pass by here on the Shoreway every day? Do you have a number? It's got to be in the tens of thousands.
I don't know how many, but it's probably 25,000 people.
Right, I would assume. And probably looking at this every day, and it has changed how Clevelanders see our city. It is that profound that you've done here by taking this land and putting these objects on here, and they really are art objects, and then living in them and making them come alive. Thank you so much, Robert. Congratulations for your success, and thanks for pitching in for the ICA.
Well, thank you. We have one more house to go. So.
That's right. You got an extra lot in between here you're looking to do, right?
We do.
I'll bet you know what it's going to look like too, don't you?
Well, we want to design it for that client. So
awesome.
We do.
Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland. Great week. Great week. Great week. and it has assumed 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 and under taken time.
Thank you.
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 Taken time.
Thank you.